The ballroom was packed. 200 people, maybe more. Colleagues from 4 decades at CN Rail, faces I'd seen age alongside mine, all gathered on this Friday evening in June. The retirement cake sat on the corner table, 3 tiers with "Congratulations, Robert," spelled out in blue icing. My favorite color. Someone had remembered. I adjusted my tie and checked my phone for the 7th time. Nothing. "Robert, they're asking for your speech," my manager whispered, touching my elbow gently. I nodded, tried to smile, scanned the crowd one more time, hoping maybe I'd missed them in the sea of faces. But no. The 4 empty chairs at the front table told the story clearly enough. Sarah had texted at noon. "Dad, I'm so sorry. Emergency surgery scheduled for 6 p.m. A 7-year-old with a ruptured appendix. I can't reschedule. I'm so proud of you. Love you." Emily's message came an hour later. "Dad, the product launch got moved to tonight. The board is flying in from Toronto. I fought to change it. I really did. I'll make it up to you. Promise." Rachel called at 3 p.m., her voice tight with stress. "Dad, the judge moved the hearing to tomorrow morning. I have to prep tonight. This case could make partner. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Mia was the last. A voice message at 4:30, traffic noise in the background. "Dad, the client is only in Seattle until tomorrow. This project is worth $300K. I have to take this meeting. Please understand. I love you." I understood. Of course I understood. I'd raised them to be ambitious, to chase their dreams, to never settle. Their mother and I had sacrificed everything to make sure they had opportunities we never did. Medical school, MBA programs, law school, architecture degree. We'd been so proud watching them walk across those stages, accepting those diplomas. But standing here now, looking at those empty chairs, I felt something I hadn't let myself feel in the 2 years since Patricia died. Loneliness. At Patricia's funeral, they'd all been late. Sarah arrived 20 minutes after the service started, still in her scrubs. Emily took a conference call in the parking lot during the reception. Rachel left early for a deposition. Mia stayed, but spent half the time on her laptop, working on some deadline. I'd told myself then it was grief. People process loss differently, but this wasn't a funeral. This was a celebration. My retirement, 40 years of service, and they couldn't spare one evening. I walked to the microphone, the crowd quieting down. Familiar faces smiled up at me, expectant, warm. I cleared my throat. "Thank you all for being here tonight," I started, my voice steadier than I felt. 40 years ago, I started as a track maintenance worker, fresh off the farm in Manitoba. I remember my first day. Couldn't tell a spike from a bolt. My supervisor, Tom Chen, he's retired now. He took me under his wing, taught me everything. Laughter rippled through the crowd. I found my rhythm, telling stories they'd heard before but never tired of. The blizzard of '97, the derailment we prevented in 2003, the innovations we'd implemented that became company standard. "I've been blessed with incredible colleagues who became family," I continued. "And I'm grateful for my actual family, too. My 4 daughters. They couldn't be here tonight. They're busy saving lives, building careers, fighting for justice, designing the future. I'm proud of them." The words came out smooth, practiced, but they tasted like ash. I raised my glass. To the next chapter, to spending time with the people who matter, to figuring out what comes next. The applause was thunderous. People clapped me on the back, shared memories, promised to stay in touch. I smiled until my face hurt. By 9 p.m., I was home. The house in North Vancouver felt too big, too quiet. Patricia's reading chair still sat by the window, her bookmark still in the novel she'd never finished. I couldn't bring myself to move it. I sat at the kitchen table, the silence pressing down on me like a physical weight. That's when I made the decision. I went to my study, set up my laptop, adjusted the camera. My hands shook slightly as I pressed record. "Hi Sarah, Emily, Rachel, Mia. It's Dad. If you're watching this, it means I've started something I need to finish. And I need you to finish it with me." I paused, gathering my thoughts. "I'm going to send you 1 video every week for the next 8 weeks. I need you to watch them. All of them. That's all I'm asking. Just watch them. And if you can, respond. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me the truth." I stopped the recording, saved it, but didn't send it yet. Over the next 2 days, I recorded 7 more videos, each one carefully planned, each one designed to crack open the walls we'd all built between us. On Sunday night, I sent the first video. The responses came within hours. Sarah: Dad, of course I'll watch. Are you okay? You're scaring me a little. Emily: Watched it. I'm here. Whatever you need. Rachel: Dad, I'm in. Talk to me. Mia: Always, Dad. I'm sorry about Friday. I sat back, relieved. They were paying attention. That was step 1. The first video I'd recorded was simple. I told them about the retirement party. Not to make them feel guilty, I insisted, but because I wanted them to understand something. I lied to you girls when you were young, I said to the camera. Your mother and I, we lied all the time. We told you we weren't tired when we were exhausted. We told you we didn't want that last piece of chicken when we were hungry. We said we were fine working overtime when we wanted to be at your dance recitals, your soccer games, your school plays. I paused, my throat tight. We took second jobs to pay for your universities. I worked night shifts for 3 years during Sarah's medical school. Your mother cleaned houses on weekends during Emily's MBA. We cashed in our retirement savings for Rachel's law degree. We remortgaged this house for Mia's architecture program. The camera blurred slightly. I wiped my eyes. We didn't tell you any of this because we didn't want you to feel guilty. We wanted you to chase your dreams without looking back. But now I'm wondering if we did it wrong. If we taught you to keep running forward without teaching you when to stop and look around. I ended the video with a question. Tell me one truth you've been hiding. From me, from yourself. Just one. The responses took longer this time. Sarah called on Tuesday, crying. Dad, I'm miserable. I love being a surgeon, but I haven't had a real conversation with anyone in months. I eat dinner alone in my car between shifts. I can't remember the last time I laughed. Emily sent a voice message at midnight. The truth? I'm terrified. Terrified I'm going to wake up at 50 and realize I built this incredible career and forgot to build a life. Like, what's it all for if I'm alone? Rachel's text was simple. I became a lawyer to help people. Now I just help corporations avoid taxes. I don't know who I am anymore. Mia video called me, her face drawn. Dad, I'm designing buildings where families will make memories, but I don't have any family memories of my own. Not recent ones. That's messed up, right? I listened to each one, my heart breaking and swelling at the same time. They were still in there, the daughters I'd raised, just buried under layers of ambition and exhaustion. The second video I sent on Sunday. I told them about the promotion I'd turned down in 1995. They wanted to make me regional manager, I explained. More money, better title, all the things I thought I wanted, but it meant relocating to Toronto. And you girls had just started high school. Sarah, you'd made captain of the volleyball team. Emily, you'd finally found a friend group you loved. Rachel, you'd joined the debate club. Mia, you were taking art classes after school. I smiled at the memory. Your mother and I talked about it for weeks. The money would have been life-changing. But we'd have to uproot you all, take you away from your friends, your school, your lives. So I said no. I stayed a track supervisor. I never regretted it. The question this time, what have you sacrificed for someone you love? Not money, time, opportunity, dreams. What have you given up? The answers were harder this time. They had to think. Sarah admitted she'd never had a serious relationship because she was always at the hospital. I sacrificed love for my career, and now I'm not sure it was worth it. Emily confessed she'd stopped painting. I used to paint every weekend. It made me happy. But then work got busy, and I told myself I'd get back to it. That was 6 years ago. Rachel revealed she'd cut off her college best friend. She wanted me to be her maid of honor, but I had a trial. I chose the trial. We haven't spoken in 4 years. Mia told me she'd stopped visiting her godmother, Patricia's sister Diane, who lived in a care home in Surrey. Aunt Diane asks about me every time you visit her, doesn't she? I keep meaning to go, but I'm always too busy. I read their responses and felt a weight settle in my chest. They were lost, all 4 of them, and I hadn't seen it because I'd been too busy being proud. The third video I recorded on a Tuesday morning. I'd just come back from the doctor. Dr. Amadi had been my physician for 15 years. He knew me well enough to skip the pleasantries. Robert, the scans came back. It's pancreatic cancer, stage 4. The room had tilted. I'd gripped the armrests of the chair. How long? He'd looked at me with those kind, sad eyes. 6 months, maybe less. I'm sorry. I sat in my car in the hospital parking lot for an hour after that, staring at nothing. Then I drove home and recorded the third video. Girls, I need to tell you something. 2 weeks ago, I started feeling sick. Pain in my abdomen, weight loss, fatigue. I went to see Dr. Amati. We ran tests. I took a deep breath. I have pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. He's giving me 6 months. I watched my daughters' lives implode through their responses. Sarah called immediately, her voice frantic. Dad, I'm flying home. Tonight. I'm booking a ticket right now. We'll get you the best oncologist. We'll fight this. Sarah, stop, I interrupted gently. I don't want you to drop everything and rush home. What? Dad, you just told me you're dying. I know, and I will die, eventually. We all will. But I don't want the next 6 months to be about panic and guilt. I want them to be about something else. Emily tried to organize a family meeting. We'll all fly home this weekend. We'll make a care plan. We'll coordinate schedules. Rachel immediately started researching clinical trials, experimental treatments, specialists in the States. Mia broke down completely. This is my fault. If I'd been there Friday, if I'd been visiting more, maybe you would have told us sooner. Maybe we could have caught it earlier. Stop, I said firmly. This isn't about blame. This is about time. The time we have left, and how we use it. The fourth video laid out what I wanted. I don't want you to quit your jobs, I said. I don't want you to put your lives on hold. I just want 60 days, 2 months. Come home to Vancouver. Work remotely if you can. Stay in your old rooms. Have breakfast with me. Watch TV with me. Just be here. Be my daughters again, not my caregivers, not people fulfilling an obligation. Just be here. The question: can you give me 60 days? They all said yes. Sarah arranged a leave of absence from the hospital in Toronto. They weren't happy, but I don't care. I'm coming home. Emily negotiated remote work with her company in San Francisco. I'll fly back for critical meetings, but otherwise, I'm there. Rachel told her firm she was taking a sabbatical. If they don't make me partner because of this, then I don't want to be partner. Mia packed up her apartment in Seattle. I'm moving home, Dad, for as long as you need me. 3 weeks after my retirement party, all 4 of my daughters moved back into the house where they'd grown up. The first morning was awkward. We'd all been living separate lives for so long, we'd forgotten how to share space. Sarah got up at 5 a.m. for her run, waking everyone else. Emily took conference calls in the living room, her voice echoing through the house. Rachel spread legal documents across the dining table. Mia set up a drafting table in the sunroom. But slowly, we found our rhythm. I sent the 4th video on their 3rd day home. This one was for Sarah. Sarah, you were 8 years old when you told me you wanted to be a doctor. Remember? We were at the park, and you saw a paramedic treating someone who'd fallen off the monkey bars. You were fascinated. You asked a million questions. I smiled at the memory. You became a surgeon because you wanted to help people. And you do. You save lives every single day. But sweetheart, when was the last time you were truly alive? Not just surviving shift to shift, but actually living? The question hit her hard. I saw it in her face at dinner that night. I don't remember, she admitted quietly. I don't remember the last time I did something just because it made me happy. Then let's change that, I said. Tomorrow, we're going to do something that makes you happy. You choose. She chose teaching me to make her mother's apple pie. Patricia had been the baker in our family. I'd never learned, always too busy with other things. We spent 3 hours in the kitchen, flour everywhere, Sarah laughing as I completely butchered the lattice top. The pie came out lopsided and slightly burnt. It was the best pie I'd ever tasted. The 5th video was for Emily. You've always been my strategist. Even as a little girl, you planned everything. You had a 5-year plan when you were 12 years old. I chuckled. You market happiness for a living. You sell products by promising people they'll be happier, more fulfilled, more successful. But are you happy? Are you fulfilled? That question started a different conversation. Emily broke down the 3rd week. She'd just gotten off a call with her boss, who was pressuring her to return to San Francisco for a crucial presentation. I told him no, she said, her voice shaking. and he said if I wasn't committed to the company, maybe I should reconsider my position. Basically threatened my job. What did you say? I asked. I said he was right. I'm reconsidering everything. She didn't quit, but she did something more important. She started painting again. She set up an easel in the backyard, spent mornings working before her calls started. Landscapes, mostly. The mountains visible from our house, the ocean on clear days, the garden Patricia had planted years ago. I forgot how much I loved this, she said one afternoon, paint smudged on her cheek. I forgot who I was before I became obsessed with career. The sixth video targeted Rachel. Rachel, you became a lawyer because you wanted to fight for justice. You wrote an essay in 10th grade about defending the innocent, protecting the vulnerable. Your mother cried when she read it. She was so proud. I paused, choosing my words carefully. You fight for justice in the courtroom. But what about mercy? What about forgiveness? What about giving people second chances? That week, Rachel reconnected with her college friend, Amanda, the one she'd ghosted 4 years ago. She called her, apologized, explained everything. Amanda was hurt but willing to listen. They met for coffee in Kitsilano. Rachel came home red-eyed but smiling. She's getting married next spring, Rachel told me. She wants me to be her maid of honor. I said yes. I don't care what trial I have scheduled. I'll be there. The seventh video was for Mia. Mia, my youngest. You design spaces where families make memories. Beautiful homes, community centers, parks. You create places where life happens. I looked directly at the camera. But when are you going to build your own life? When are you going to stop designing other people's happiness and start living your own? Mia took that to heart in an unexpected way. She organized family game nights. Every Friday, we played board games until midnight. Monopoly, Scrabble, charades. Games we hadn't played since the girls were teenagers. Sarah was fiercely competitive. Emily kept trying to change the rules to optimize strategy. Rachel argued about every point. Mia laughed until she cried. This, Mia said one night, looking around at her sisters. This is what I've been missing. This is what I've been designing for other people but not creating for myself. She also started visiting Aunt Diane every Sunday, sometimes alone, sometimes with her sisters. Diane, who'd been Patricia's best friend, who'd helped raise the girls, who'd been slowly fading in that care home, came alive again. She has so many stories, Mia told me after one visit. Stories about Mom I never knew. I've been missing out on so much. The weeks passed. The girls settled into routines. They still worked, but differently. More boundaries, more balance, more life. We had breakfast together every morning. I taught them to cook Patricia's recipes. Her shepherd's pie, her butter tarts, her famous meatloaf that wasn't actually famous, but we all pretended it was. We watched old home videos, laughing at their terrible haircuts and fashion choices from the 90s. We sorted through photo albums, Patricia's handwriting in the margins, little notes about each moment. We talked, really talked, about everything. Their fears, their regrets, their hopes, my memories of their childhood, of their mother, of the life we'd built. I felt myself getting stronger, not weaker. The pain was still there, but manageable. I had more energy than I'd had in months. Then came the 8th video, the final one. I recorded it on a Thursday morning, after coming back from my 8-week follow-up appointment with Dr. Amati. I gathered the girls that evening, all 4 of them sitting on the couch like they used to when they were little, waiting for a family movie night. I have something to tell you, I started. I went to see Dr. Amati today. Sarah's face went pale. Dad, wait, let me finish. I took a deep breath. He ran new scans. The tumor, it's shrinking. Silence. What? Emily whispered. It's responding to the treatment. Better than expected. He said I might have 2 years. Maybe more. Rachel stood up. That's amazing. That's oh my God, Dad. But there's something else. I held up a hand. When I first got diagnosed, Dr. Amati gave me a range. 6 months if things went badly, up to 2 years if things went well. I chose to tell you the worst-case scenario. Understanding dawned on Mia's face. You exaggerated. I prioritized the truth that would wake you up, I said quietly. I didn't lie. Everything I told you was a possible outcome. I just emphasized the urgency because I needed you to understand. I needed you to see what I saw at my retirement party. 4 empty chairs. 4 daughters too busy to show up for their own father. Sarah's expression hardened. You manipulated us. No. I loved you enough to give you a deadline. Because I've watched you girls run yourselves into the ground for years. I've seen you sacrifice everything for careers that will replace you in a heartbeat. I've seen you lose yourselves. I gestured around the room. Look at what the last 8 weeks have been. Real conversations. Real connections. Sarah, you're painting again. Emily, you're setting boundaries. Rachel, you've rebuilt a friendship. Mia, you're visiting family. You're living again. All of you. Tears streamed down Emily's face. We needed this. You did. And so did I. I sat down heavily. Your mother and I, we enabled you. We were so proud of your achievements, we forgot to teach you balance. We taught you to work hard, but not to rest. To succeed, but not to savor. To climb, but not to look down and see who you were leaving behind. Rachel wiped her eyes. So what now? Now we figure out how to keep this going, not the living together part, necessarily. You have your lives, your careers, your paths. But this, the connection, the priority, the understanding that success means nothing if you're alone at the end. Sarah crossed the room, wrapped her arms around me. I'm sorry I missed your party. I'm sorry I had to use cancer to get your attention. We all laughed. That slightly hysterical laugh that comes after crying. Over the next 2 weeks, we worked out a plan. Sarah would stay in Toronto, but commit to visiting once a month. Emily negotiated permanent remote work, splitting time between San Francisco and Vancouver. Rachel decided to leave her firm and start her own practice focused on pro bono work based in Vancouver. Mia stayed put, finding freelance clients she could serve from home. The 60 days ended. But the change didn't. It's been a year now. I'm still here, still fighting. The cancer is still there too, but stable. Dr. Amadi is cautiously optimistic. My daughters visit regularly, not out of guilt or obligation, but because they want to. We video call every Sunday, all 5 of us, sharing our weeks. Sarah met someone, a nurse at her hospital. She brings him around for dinner sometimes. Emily's art got noticed by a small gallery in Gastown. She had a show last month, sold 3 pieces. Rachel's new firm is thriving. She helps families, immigrants, people who can't afford big legal fees. Mia's designing a community center in East Van, her biggest project yet. She's also dating Aunt Diane's physical therapist. Small world. Last month, on what would have been Patricia's 65th birthday, we all gathered at her grave. We planted flowers, told stories, laughed and cried. Mom would be so proud of you girls, I said. She'd be proud of you too, Dad, Mia replied, for saving us. But I didn't save them. I just reminded them who they were, underneath all the ambition and exhaustion. I reminded them that life is short, time is precious, and the people who love you won't wait forever. The retirement party taught me something important. Empty chairs tell a story, but they don't have to be the end of the story. You can fill them again if you're brave enough to ask. If you're reading this, or watching this, or hearing this story somehow, let me tell you what I learned. Don't wait for a diagnosis to prioritize the people you love. Don't wait for a funeral to tell someone they matter. Don't wait for regret to teach you what should have been obvious all along. Success is important. Ambition is valuable. Career growth matters. But none of it, absolutely none of it, means anything if you're sitting alone in a big house, staring at empty chairs, wondering where everyone went. Create your own wake-up call before life creates one for you. Call your parents. Visit your siblings. Reconnect with old friends. Take the vacation. Skip the meeting. Miss the conference call. Be too busy living to be too busy for life. That's the inheritance I want to leave my daughters. Not money, not property, not achievements. Just this. The understanding that time is the only currency that matters, and once you spend it, you never get it back. Spend it wisely. Spend it on love. That's what your mother would say, Patricia. And she'd be right, like she always was.